Oh, hi there, gentlemen. What's going on here? This looks very suspiciously like some sort of a competition type building. Not a food outlet, hey? Gawky. Probably going to be a bank. He took the vending machine away. Oh, man. Okay. The Big Cheez is watching. And just to scare the living jazz out of them, greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you from Big Cheez Power in another episode of Modern Minecraft from the FoolCraft 3 server. Literally just scared the living bajingo out of Gok and Jank over there. Very suspicious about what sort of shop is being set up out there, guys. I've been hearing whispers of cheeseburgers being sold in Fool City by the Gok and Jank Emporium. I'm not freaking happy about it. However, I am very happy to see that there's another fool on the server right now. The gorgeous false Symmetry is back from her travels, and that pleases me greatly because that means for today's introduction, there is another fool to frighten the living heck out of. We can transform into a ghast, can't we? Which is hilarious. And, well, I think we just scared the living jazz out of Gok and Janky next. So now we're going to try and do exactly the same thing for false Symmetry, and I just realized that the ghast is wearing the Nyan Nyan cat thing that we found a few episodes ago. I wish I could actually see myself. I'm going to have to watch the other fools' videos here, right, to get a full vision of what I actually look like, but I'm pretty sure I look ridiculous right now as a Nyan Nyan cat ghast. And, oh, I just went into a bunch of electricity. R.I.P. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is the derpiest introduction I think I've ever done. Let me get myself back together here, guys, and then we're going to scare the living jazz out of false Symmetry. Ouch. All right, let's try this again, shall we? And by the way, this is the third time that this electricity has killed me. I've died a couple of times off camera. This immersive engineering electricity is super dangerous, man. You know what else is dangerous? ReNDoG as a frickin' ghast. Let's make ourselves into this Nyan Cat ghast, teleport ourselves directly into false Symmetry's base, and we already scared the living jazz out of Stress Monster doing this, didn't we? Just freaking hilarious. Let's see if we can do exactly the same for Falsey. Hopefully she's at her base right now. I have no idea. Let's warp ourselves over there, and let's have a look if we can find her. Hello, false Symmetry? Are you about anywhere around here? Is she in the nether or something? Oh, there she is. Yep, she's here. She's here. I don't know how we're going to get her outside. Shall we just open the door a couple of times? We'll kind of knock, you know. See if she'll come upstairs. Come on, Falsey. You can hear me. Nothing to see out here. Just a couple of doors opening and closing. Come on. You know you can do it, Falsey. Come and say hello to Big Cheez McGhast Face. I'm waiting for you outside. Hello? Okay, we're going to have to do this in a much sneakier way, aren't we? Falsey's not falling for the tricks over here. I tell you what, let's go back into ReNDoG mode, and then we can sneak our way in here, and there she is. There she is. And we'll make ourselves a ghast right over here, which will trigger the sound of the ghast dying, and that should hopefully scare the living jazz out of Falsey. Oh, jeez. Can we get down there? Oh, jeez. Can we transform into a car before we die? Hello? False? Did that not even scare you at all? Jeez. Okay, I tell you what, we're gonna wait here. She's obviously AFK. We're gonna wait right here for her to turn around. And when she does, we're gonna transform into a ghast and hopefully scare the liver jazz out of her. Shall we take the form of a penguin to start with? Yeah, let's take the form of a penguin. Let's go penguin form right now. And hopefully, the moment that she turns around, we will turn from a penguin into a ghast and scare the living freaking... Oops! No, that was too soon! Too soon! Too soon! Oh, jeez! Way too soon! Oh, no! Things have gone horribly wrong. Oh, jeez. Luckily, I think that she's still AFK, guys. We still have some time to set up this prank. Let's return to our grave, get ourselves transformed into penguin mode, and let's see if I can actually do this properly without frickin' derping up here. Okay, so we're going to be penguin mode, and then we will convert into ghast mode the moment that false symmetry turns around and sees us. It's a waiting game right now, my dudes. Penguin face is going to sit here and wait for false symmetry to join, and the moment she does, we will go into ghast mode. Okay, I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but here we go. She's back! Here we go! Prank has begun! Oh, the hilarity! The hilarity is ensuing! Oh, jeez! Oh. And she just goes about back to her business. She doesn't even care. Oh, my goodness. Hi. Welcome back. Oh, that was fun. Well, I didn't think that the introductions for the series could get any more ridiculous, my dudes, but I seem to have outdone myself in this episode. Very excellent. I am quite pleased with how this morning's recording has gone here on the FoolCraft server. Managed to freak out a couple of fools on the server. Falsy, Gok, and Janky Nick have received the ReNDoG treatment. Very good. Also, we got a bunch of new deaths over here that we need to hide on the waypoint menu because, well, yeah, I don't really like seeing the amount of times that I've died around here. Welcome back to Big Cheez, my dudes. Last time we were together, we were doing some real cool stuff out here, didn't we? We got our toasted freaking grilled cheese sandwich factory up and running. And as you can see, things are clogging up a little bit around here. We got to solve some issues with the factory, but everything is kind of working. Everything's going pretty nicely around here. It looks like we're generating toast at too rapid a rate for the system, which is good. Now, since we were last together, I have set up a little bit of a storage silo over here. A bunch of small storage crates with some Ender IO item conduits in there. And that cable comes all the way down here and sucks out the grilled cheese sandwiches from the final autocraft. And that's going to be storing up a ridiculous amount of grilled cheese. And we need all of this storage because, well, today we're going to be working on the final part of Big Cheez Power, which is converting grilled cheese sandwiches into power. So that's exciting. Last couple of episodes, we made some serious progress, haven't we? I want to do a little bit of chisel and bitsing around here to get the internals here looking pretty good. I want to set up a wall for this too, so that it doesn't look so bare. But first things first, let's try to figure out exactly what's going on over here. It looks like we have a bit of a toast overload in the autocrafter. So let's change this down to one toast removed at a time, and that should hopefully fix this up a little bit. Actually, I did increase the number of items coming out of this very slightly, just to see if we could improve the speed of generation, but that seems to have actually clogged the system up. So it looks like way too much cheese and way too much toast has come out of this, which is interesting. Let's get all of that jazz back into the original chest. And it doesn't look like we're generating a lot of butter here, right? It looks like the butter production is a little bit on the slow side, which is very interesting. But we should be able to get some equilibrium going here. Like, I got to tweak, basically, the outputs from the hardened servo. So the amount of salt, for example, that I remove from here. Hang on, this is salt? Wait a minute. Oh, where is this coming from? Oh, yeah, this doesn't need salt, actually. So this can be removed now that I think about it. And actually, we could fix this up a little bit and make it look a little bit neater. Instead of having the milk coming out of this one, let's have it come out of the front here, right? Yeah, that looks a lot better. But yeah, anyway, just from tweaking some of these servos, we can actually sort of set the speed at which our factory produces stuff, or at least produces the materials needed for the grilled cheese production. They set that to whitelist, and that should start sending... Oh, geez, we have a lot of salt in here, too, that we don't need. Oh, my goodness, man. It's actually kind of difficult getting this factory configured, guys. I got to tell you, man, I've been spending at least a couple of hours trying to tweak everything around here, get everything functioning the way that it's supposed to. I think we'll change this down to one item at a time, just to slow up the production a little bit here, right? So that we don't overproduce the heavy cream, because this one's getting a bunch of heavy cream here, right? And this should be going out at 16. Oh, that's going out at 16 a pop, which seems to me to be okay. How are we doing on production over here? Pretty good. Shall we start all the way from the beginning? Let's like remove all of the ingredients from the final chest there. Just store them in here and see if we can reset the equilibrium of our factory a little bit. There we go. And what I want to see here is that right there. I want the items to be completely dissipated, right? Yeah, that's working really good now. Sweet. So this won't get clogged up. This chest, however, might get clogged up. We're going to have to watch this. We might need like an overflow or something, or maybe even 2 auto crafters producing grilled cheese. That might be the solution here. But other than that, the grilled cheese factory is cooking away with some gas, baby. And I've got some more chisel and bitsing going on over here. I've put glass around this one because this is heavy cream, and we don't want that cream exposed to the factory air, right? It's going to get contaminated because it's liquid. So that was my thinking. And we've also got a little bit of glass here. I'm not entirely sure why. That's, I guess, to keep the flour uncontaminated, right? So that the starting foundation of the grilled cheese sandwich is not contaminated. I guess this part is probably open to contamination, but whatever. We'll sort that out at some other point when the health and safety inspector arrives. Since we were last together, take a look at this. I've added a couple of sweet chisel and bits railings also to all of the rails. I need to figure out a proper name for these things. The conveyor belts, I guess, that are transporting all of the ingredients for grilled cheese. Can we actually get up here somewhere so we can take a look? Let's see if I can pop up here. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I've got these beautiful railings bringing in the salt and the fresh milk and everything else into the factory. I think that they look absolutely gorgeous. I turned the salt factory into a little bit of a shack also, and I want to turn the milk factory into a shack too. And maybe turn this entire area into a shack also. I've just noticed my anvil pet has run out of food, so we need to get him fed up and also, a little bit here too. And yeah, welcome, my friends, to the everyday of the ReNDoG. You guys don't get to see this on camera because I keep it off of camera because it's kind of boring. But yeah, item management 101 with ReNDoG. Every 10 minutes or so, I got to go and chuck a whole bunch of junk out of my inventory because it gets clogged up. But that's all good, baby. Shall we get down to some chisel and bitsing? I think so. Our factory is pumping away here. Beautiful. And the sooner we can start setting up our culinary generator array, the better. Because then we can actually start generating some real power out of this thing. And, well, then figure out what we're going to do with all of the power. I haven't quite worked that one out yet. Now, let me show you guys, because I haven't really shown you so far in the series how I've made these shacks. Very, very simple, right? We've got some chisel and bits blocks here. In fact, every single block that you see here in the factory is in fact a chisel and bits block. So all I do is walk around with these positive chisel designs and create copies of what I want to use to build my buildings. And then very simply, we are just going to start placing down the walls here, and we're going to start creating the walls of our factory here. Very, very nice. And I think, I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to make this one, but I think we'll make it the same as the hydroponic center over here, right? We'll make it a nice, beautiful shack like this. I think that's going to fit really nicely. And what I tend to do with setting up these structures is I start with the base block, in this case with the iron fencing or the iron sheet metal like this. And then once all of the walls have been set up, then I go for some copying of the nickel sheet metal. And then with replace, we can just sort of pop the metal sheet nickel in there, right? And just start adding a little bit of block variation into the build, a little bit like that. And then, of course, we make copies of these indents, or we bring out the chisel itself. And I think I showed you guys this before with the plane option. We just sort of plane a pixel line in there just to give it a little bit of depth and stuff, right? So that is how we work on the walls of this bad boy. Pretty awesome. The same thing applies, of course, to the shack over here for the milk. I kind of want to hide this cow's shame a little bit, right? He's chilling out here all alone and feeling real sad, real lonely. And I think I could probably actually do this one block in here. If you hold down shift, you can actually rotate your chisel design, which is pretty useful. And yeah, we'll do this like this, right? Just get him completely sort of walled in. And it looks like I've run out of iron sheet metal bits in my bit bags over here. So got to do a little bit of that mining. And yeah, totally run out of that. So I guess we can make copies of this one and start setting up the support beams here for the freaking automatic cow milker. Now, guys, as with regards to the future plans of Big Cheez Power, I wanted to share with you an idea that I've had for this place that I think is going to be really cool. So we still got one big part of the factory to build, which is going to be the Culinary generator array room, which is going to be over here somewhere, I guess. But what I would like to do eventually also is add a control room into the power facility, right, into the power plant. And this control room, I want to be looking over this entire area, and I want to be able to literally control every single aspect of our power plant. So I want to be able to turn on the hydroponic center, turn on the diesel generator, turn on the grilled cheese factory, and turn on the salt factory and the milk factory by flicking some switches or pressing some buttons or something like that, right? And that way we can turn off the entire facility so that we don't lag the living jazz out of the server. And when we need to generate power, we can then come and flick all of those switches in the control room and get the whole thing turned on. And I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do that. I've been trying to figure it out exactly what we're going to do. We're going to have to use some sort of wireless transmitter, I think, to sort of add a redstone button or something to each of the different facilities to be able to turn them on and off. And then with the flick of those levers, we'll be able to turn everything on and off. I haven't quite figured out how it's going to work yet, but that is in the future plans for Big Cheez Power. It is going to be absolutely freaking glorious when it's ready to go. But yeah, what I'm really happy about with this particular project is how beautiful it's starting to look. One of the trickiest things for this build for me has been trying to keep the aesthetic design of the place in line with that of immersive engineering. I think I've spoken about this before. It was one of my goals here at Big Cheez. To make sure that the place all looked quite, consistent, I suppose. And I think we've done a great job of that so far, except for some of the Ender IO cablings that we can see here and there. This place is looking absolutely magnificent, man. I do really love it, and I'm super proud of it. But yeah, one more thing to add in here is going to be that control tower. And I do want to kind of have a look at the place from a distance at night. I want to have a look at this power plant. Oh, look at that, dudes. Doesn't that look sweet? I'm so freaking happy with this build, man. It is so awesome. Okay, I might have got a little bit carried away since the last segment was recorded, everybody. Welcome to Big Cheez Power. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh my goodness, man. I was doing a whole bunch of editing last night for my trip to Sweden. I'm currently pre-recording a couple episodes. I got completely carried away, and I forgot that I was actually recording an episode at the same time as I was editing. So welcome back. It's been about 8 hours of progression since we were last together here in FoolCraft, and a lot has happened in our beautiful power-based section thingy out here. Let me try and catch you up to where we were last segment. I finished off the shack for the grilled cheese sandwich factory of our power plant. I've created this very ugly looking pylon of grilled cheese sandwiches, which we're going to be getting rid of. I'm going to try something different for the actual storage of grilled cheese. What else have I done? Oh yeah, as you just saw, I added this beautiful little decal into our power plant. It says Big Cheez Power. Now, any fool who flies over this area will know exactly whose base this belongs to. It's pretty sweet. I also finished off the shackage for the salt and the milk farms over there, so that's pretty awesome. And yeah, everything is looking pretty good. I actually had to shut the whole system down, by the way, because I may or may not have lagged the server, and by may I mean I did. I went for a bath. I was AFK here, and well, the factory basically overflowed, and it completely stalled the server because tens of thousands of entities got stuck out here on on the stupid conveyor belt. So I've shut the entire system down for now. I've collected a ridiculous amount of grilled cheese sandwiches. We've got a bunch of power stored up too. A bunch of the liquids have been stored too. I think we've got almost a full tank of diesel up there. So we are not worried about power. Let's have a look. Yeah, we have a full tank of diesel up there. So we don't really have to worry about turning the factory on for now. But what I am worried about setting up some sort of an overflow system for our grilled cheese sandwich factory, right? I don't ever want that to happen again. So we're going to have to figure that out. So I've decided that we're going to try something a little different for the grilled cheese sandwich storage part of this project. And I want to store the grilled cheeses inside of the production shack over here, right? I've added a bunch of these small storage crates in here. I think they look really cool. I mean, in factories, you expect to see these sort of shelves of goods, right? And this is where we're going to be storing all the grilled cheese sandwiches. And then we will send them from here to our culinary generator array things over here, which I've just started the foundations of. This is where we're going to be setting up a couple of culinary generator engines, which I would like, if possible, to make look like that, like the beautiful diesel generator from Immersive Engineering. Maybe we can use some chisel and bits to sort of copy this design, but instead of it using diesel, of course, it'll be there'll be culinary generators inside producing power from grilled cheese. Gonna be sweet, man. But before we can get to that, we need to sort out the storage situation over here. So I've got a bunch of item conduits here ready to go, and I guess what we'll start doing is plugging these storage systems into each other, and we'll probably have the storage line go down here. I think, yeah, there is the Ender IO cable that is actually pulling grilled cheese from the mechanical crafter over here. So we can probably unplug that line and actually, wait, hang on. We'll unplug this one so that we don't fill up that pylon of grilled cheese anymore. Instead, we'll send it this direction. And yeah, this will start filling up, I guess, the shelves of grilled cheese over here, right? So maybe we keep on going up like that. And yeah, we need to maybe just like manage this a little bit if we can. Oh, we can't actually get in there. Oh my goodness, this is going to be quite painful to actually manage here, my dudes. Anyway, let's just run the lines of these cables like so, right? And I guess the same will go for these ones, and it'll connect like that. And I guess what we want to try and do is find a way to get the sandwiches in here and then get them out by using the insert and extract capabilities of the Ender IO cables, right? I think that's probably pretty important. No idea how exactly we're going to do that. I'm going to have to fiddle around with it off camera, I think. But let's get all the Ender IO cables installed here. And then I want to show you guys something really, really sweet. So I've been trying to figure out exactly how to hide the Ender IO cables here in the Big Cheez Power plant because they're really ugly. Well, they're actually really beautiful. I love the way they look, but they don't suit this build very well, do they? They're kind of out of place here. And I was reading some comments from the previous episodes, and you guys have been telling me a little bit about this thing called a conduit facade. And if you have a look at the recipe for this, super easy to make. Just a bunch of conduit binder, which we use to actually make the Ender IO conduits. And basically what we can do with this facade is we can turn those cables into any block that we want using something called a painting machine. Pretty cool, right? Have a look at this. A painting machine is pretty easy to make. It's from Ender IO 2. It needs a diamond, some nether wrackage, some infinity biometal gear, and an industrial machine chassis with some electrical steel ingots. So pretty easy to make. You actually make all of this stuff to make the other things, the alloy smelter and the sag mill. But let's just borrow this octadic capacitor for now. Take a look at this, guys. This is so freaking sweet, right? If we put the conduit facade in this position here, I think, and say we want the conduit facade to look like a small storage crate, I think we can put the small storage crate there, and boom! we are going to turn conduit facades into small storage crates. And the really cool thing about a conduit facade, such a stupid word, man. So many weird words in this series, guys. Frickin' garden coche, frickin' conduit facades. I mean, honestly, man, it's ridiculous. Anyway, take a look at this. We can actually cover up these cables with the conduit facades by, I think, just right-clicking. Yeah, there we go. So we are going to be covering up the Ender.io cabling with these storage crates, and I think that works absolutely perfectly, right? Then we'll just have these massive sort of storage. It'll look like we have these huge rows of storage crates up against the walls of the shack, but actually there is some piping behind there that's managing the movement of the sandwiches through all of these storage crates. So that's really awesome. Thank you, everybody, for that amazing hint. And yeah, I guess what I'll do is try and get this entire storage system sorted, and then we'll come back together and see if this thing actually frickin' works. Oh, cheese, cyberdogs, I have made an absolute frickin' mess out here trying to move all of the grilled cheeses that I've produced so far from this outside silo of derpness back into the shack. And, well, as you can see, I broke all of the storage crates and I've made it a complete mess out here. However, I think if we change this channel to green, we should start pumping some stuff out. Yeah, there we go. We can see some of the grilled cheeses are now starting to exit this thing. And that is because I have reconnected this to the Ender.io line that takes us all the way in to the shack again. And I think I may have solved this particular problem. Step one is to get all the grilled cheeses back in here. And hopefully I've set it to round robin. Yeah, it looks like I've set it to round robin. So all of those grilled cheeses will eventually end up in these storage crates over here, because this line is connected to it. So I guess I'll wait for that to happen, and then once all of the grilled cheeses have been moved into their new storage location, and we can figure out a way, well, then we can get rid of all of this, and then we can probably quite easily just pipe all of the grilled cheeses over there to be used in the culinary generator arrays. So yeah, we'll get in there. A little bit of mess to be cleaned up, but this is looking cheesy, baby. Finally, cyber digging dogs, we are getting somewhere. And yes, it's my pleasure for doing all of this grind work off camera so you guys don't have to sit through the pain. It's looking pretty crazy in here, right? And anybody who comes in here would think that we're going completely over the top with storage. However, most of these things, or at least half of them, are actually fake, because most of them are in fact item facades, or at least half of them are. And if you put a Yeta wrench, which is the Ender.io wrench, in your hand, it actually exposes where all of the item facades are. And as you can see, we are covering up all of the cables quite nicely using this. And I'm hoping that we can find a block to do the same with these Ender.io cables. I haven't quite found a block for this yet. Any ideas would be great. Some sort of a pipe block or something could work out really nicely. But yeah, we're going to keep on going here with the storage thingies. Now, what I've done is I've made a connection into each of the storage crates here that has got both an extract and an insert in the node, right? So the insert is going to be coming from the grilled cheese factory, which is coming from this autocrafter. So let's just make sure that this node over here is the green channel. Yeah, so this is extract on the green channel, right? So all the grilled cheeses being produced by the factory will end up in these storage crates via this green insert channel. But I've got a purple extract channel here, and this is the channel that is going to be sending the grilled sandwiches to the culinary generator array part of our power plant, right? Because if we kept this green, then it's going to send it back in this direction, and it might confuse the system. So we have got an extract channel on purple. Hang on, let's just cover this up over here to complete the look. There we go. Oh, that's looking beautiful, man. Really like the way that it looks inside this shack. Very, very nice. Now, I have pulled another Ender.io cable all the way under the ground of the desert here. This goes all the way across the land, underneath the little water source over here, and into this section where we are going to be installing our culinary generator arrays, right? And this, I guess, is where we can start getting things set up. Oh, geez, I just dropped my frickin' wrench down there, didn't I? I'm an idiot. Hold on. Let me pick that thing up. We actually kind of need that. But yeah, this is where we're going to be turning all of the grilled cheese sandwiches into power. And I guess we'll start off with a small storage crate over here. So an intermediary between all of those storage crates and the culinary generators in here, right? And I guess we can start filling this bad boy up if we change this to insert purple. that should start filling up. There we go. Okay, wow, look how quickly that fills up too, because of course it's sucking from all of those storage crates at the same time. So this will definitely ensure that our culinary generators have enough fuel at all times to keep on running 24 hours a day, right? Very, very sweet. Now, we can finally start working on our culinary generators. We need to prepare this area though, don't we? And finally, we have a use for the winger, which we picked up in a roguelike dungeon many episodes ago. Check this out, man. We're going to set this to a 4x4 area by pressing Alt. And shall we go 3x3 actually? Let's do this a little bit easier. And take a look at this, man. With a single click of the button, we can very quickly and easily get rid of this dirt inside this area. Oh, man. Frickin' FoolCraft making our life really, really easy, right? Look how quickly we'll be able to clear all of this space here. Very nice. And I guess we've got to be a little bit careful, though, because it'll break a lot of blocks. So I think we've got to click on top of the blocks, right, to clear the top layer of blockage. If we click down here, then it's going to clear all of them. So let's keep to the top layers over here. But that's beautiful. And yeah, need to get this sort of area prepared with some foundation blocks, some of those chiseled clay blocks that we're using. And we can start working on the design for a culinary generator engine or something. I can't believe we finally got here, dudes. This is so awesome. Oh, we be cooking with gas today. Summer diggity dogs, just a few steps away from trying to build our very first culinary generator for Big Cheez Power. I'm just setting up another pylon over here so that we can get some energy into this area. And yeah, man, I've been using my positive chisel designs to do it. It's so easy once you have your chisel and bits blocks already created. You just make copies of the various designs that you need. And man, this took me about 2 minutes to throw up. And it looks absolutely amazing. We need to get some of these relays up there though, and yeah, that's going to be a little bit. I should have had these in my inventory when I started working on this pylon, but shouldn't be too difficult to get back up there. We'll use the star for traveling, which is actually really useful once you learn how to glitch yourself through the blocks. But yeah, we need to get a couple of these relays up here on top of these little spikes here. Man, I love how these things look. There we go. Now, the interesting thing about these two pylons is that we're going to have an input cable here, I suppose, or we're probably just going to have an output cable, I guess, right? Because we're going to have culinary generators here generating electricity, and I guess we're going to be sending the power. Oh, you know what we haven't made in our power plant yet, guys, is some sort of a massive battery room, right? Yeah, that's still another thing that we need to do here. I don't know where we're going to put that. Maybe in this space. Maybe we'll make like a huge capacitor bank or something over there. That could be pretty sweet. But for now, I guess what we need to do is get some power from the culinary generators, back into that pylon over there, right? So that we can power up the Big Cheez units and the garden cochets. So let's get up here and we'll wire from here to there, I suppose. Can we actually get across there? Let's just use our glider here, maybe. That could... Oh, geez, that didn't really work out that well. Okay, there we go. Nice. Now, we can cable from there to, I guess, here, and then from here to there. Okay, sweet. So any power we generate from our culinary generators will eventually go up there. I suppose we do need to add... Oh, geez. We do need to add one more cable running from here to there, and then that's going to go down to the culinary generators. Okay, sweet. So that's done. More than anything, I just love seeing the wires traveling across the base. It's probably wired up completely wrong, but I just love seeing these wires, man. They're so freaking sweet. Anyway, let's get down to business. Let's try and make ourselves a culinary generator of doom, and I've got some ideas for this. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to give this a go. I need to get a couple of wrenches and stuff in my inventory, though, so let's get ourselves the engineer's hammer. We're going to need that. And I've got this chest with everything that we need today, and we're going to be talking a little bit about speed upgrades in a moment. First things first, though, let's eat, because we're running out of hunger there. And yeah, let's see what we can do. I'm not going to work on the design today, but I do want to try and make these culinary things into some sort of an engine. Like I said, I want to try and design like a chisel and bits version of this engine. I think that could be pretty cool. But what we do know is that the culinary generators will need to be one level above here, right? Just like we raise those machines up like that. So let's just set up like a little bit of a foundation over here. Now, I have got some thinking in my brain that I want to test out, right? I want to use these HV capacitor banks because these things are kind of like batteries from immersive engineering, but that's what we need to be able to connect to the immersive engineering network. And what I kind of want to do is surround one of these things with a bunch of culinary generators. So if this, for example, is the top of the engine, so to speak, right, we're going to have a connector up here on top of that thing. That's going to connect up into the network like so. And then what we'll probably need to do is configure the sides of this HV capacitor to all inputs, right? So input is blue in immersive engineering. So that's going to be blue there, blue there, blue there, blue there, and blue on the other side. And that way we can actually install, well, how many culinary generators? 1, 2, 3. We can install 5 culinary generators per HV capacitor. That's pretty crazy, right? So inside of our engine, if you imagine this as like a massive engine, we will have an HV capacitor bank with 5 culinary generators connected to it. And that's probably going to generate a ridiculous amount of energy, right? I guess what we need to figure out, though, is how we're going to be cabling up these things. And where are my... Oh, there they are. They're the item conduits. Because what we need to do, of course, is get juice into these culinary generators, right? And I have no idea how we're going to do this. Let's do this together. We could probably work this out quite nicely, actually. So, if we have the item conduit coming into the culinary generator like that, we could probably get it going around in quite a neat way like this, actually. Hang on. This is cooking with gas right here. Check this out. Let's use our Yeta wrench to disable that connection, but we'll come around like that. And we only need one connection for this bottom culinary generator, although we do need another connection over here for that one. So we can probably disconnect most of these points on the bottom culinary generator. We'll just have one there. So if we set all of these nodes to insert instead of extract, we will eventually start receiving grilled cheese sandwiches into our culinary generators, right? Or from the intermediary chest over there, which is receiving the fuel from the grilled cheese factory. So that should be set correctly. And then what we'll do is we'll run a line from here, I guess, and let's just disconnect that connection also, just to try keep it nice and neat. And we'll run this into the storage container over here. So that's set to green, and if we turn this on, always active, that's going to start pumping, hopefully, grilled cheese sandwiches into green. And also we want to do round robin enabled, so it sends it into each of the culinary generators. There we go. Looks like they're all up and running. This one needs to be set to insert here. And yeah, there we go. All up and running. Beautiful. That is actually freaking working right now. Now, the question is this HV capacitor actually receiving energy? Yes, there it is. Look at that. It's going to be able to store up to 4 million RF. And that's pretty awesome. Now, these culinary generators are pretty janktastic right now, right? They're not generating a ton of energy. In fact, I think your base culinary generator generates 64 RF per tick, which is not very much, right? So we can actually take these capacitors to the next freaking level over here using something called a speed upgrade from extra utilities. And to make one of these things, you need gold, block of redstone, and an upgrade base. And to make an upgrade base, you've got to stick a weighted pressure plate into a resonator. And a resonator is made with redstone, iron ingots, a resonating redstone crystal, and a block of coal. So pretty easy to make this jazz. And I think I did prepare one of these off camera. Yeah, I did over here. Now, the interesting thing about these extra utilities 2 blocks is that they use something called grid power. And the way that you generate grid power is, well, there's lots of ways, but one of the easiest ways is with something called a water mill. And a water mill generates grid power from water flowing next to it. So I've created 4 water mills over here and installed water sources at these points over here, and that I think is generating the most amount of grid power that you can out of 4 water mills. And what I thought we could do is create layers of this if we need to, and the reason that we need to do this is because to add upgrades into our culinary generators we need grid power. Okay, so let's go pick up these upgrades that I created a little bit earlier, and we should have enough upgrades to fire up these four culinary generators. Yeah, we do. So we're going to stick the 4 in there, and you can see that's now using 17.5 out of our 64 grid power, and that's using 21.9. So it basically uses 1 grid power per upgrade. And this upgrade stack is basically going to take our culinary generators from generating 60 RF per tick to 320 RF per tick. Okay, so we're going to start generating an insane amount of power. I think I've got some of those upgrades up here actually. Yeah, let's steal a few back. I was just using them to get our whole system powered up over there. But there we go. If we get all of our upgrades in here now, this HV capacitor bank is going to get completely and utterly ramped up its mind right now. There we can see that power is coming in really, really quickly, and that is now generating 320 RF per tick times 5, right? So 5 culinary generators times 320 is about what, 1,600 or something like that worth of RF per tick per generator or per engine. Okay, so I think what we're going to try and do is install 20 culinary generators in this part of the power plant. So I guess we'll have 5, 10, so 10, 20. Oh, is it 10 per engine? So maybe what we'll do is we'll turn the engine around to face this way, because I think we're going to need quite a lot of space to make this thing. And it looks like each culinary generator engine, or each culinary engine, will have 10 culinary generators inside it, all producing 320 RF per tick. So that's going to be about 6,400 RF per tick from the culinary generation, 4,000 RF per tick from the diesel generation, and that basically meets our goal of 10,000 RF per tick from Big Cheez Power, and that makes me super happy, man. We are well on our way to achieving the construction of Big Cheez Power. But my dudes, I think we have probably run out of time in today's episode. I obviously still have a lot of work to do out here. Gonna continue working on a design here for our culinary generator engines, and we need to start thinking about some sort of a storage bank here for power, right? That's gonna look pretty sweet too. But that's gonna do it for now, guys. I do hope you have enjoyed the episode, a very technical one. I'm sorry if I melted your brains today. My brain is completely melted, and very happy with what we achieved, man. We got storage out the wazoo. We have got the start of a beautiful culinary engine over there, and everything is going spiffingly. If you enjoyed it, guys, don't forget to hit the like frickin' button, and if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and jingle jangle the jingle jangle bell so you get notifications when the new episodes come out. Thanks for watching, guys. ReNDoG signing out from Big Cheez Power, and we will smell you all in the next episode.